Bears, Bears on the flight. Let me go tune in to Keek on the mic. He gon' make sure we get our news and highlights. When you get on YouTube, you better hit the like.
It's funny how they never want to talk about this. Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. So, Bears fans, first and foremost, happy Thursday to every single one of you guys. The exciting news going around the National Football League is that, preseason football is officially back tonight. Obviously, the Chicago Bears had another training camp practice today. They have their first joint training camp practice with the Miami Dolphins tomorrow, leading up to their very first preseason game against the Dolphins at Soldier Field on Sunday. So all I have to say is that Chicago Bears football is finally back, and thank the football gods. I am super pumped. Let me know down below in the comment section on a scale of 1 to 10 on how excited you guys are that Bears football is officially back. So, Bears fans, I have to keep it straight up with you guys. I have to get something off my chest once again, and it's in regard to defending our franchise quarterback, hopefully our savior here in Chicago, and that is quarterback Caleb Williams. It's just funny to me, and I've had conversations with my brother-in-law. I've had conversations with my dad. I've had many conversations with other Bears content creators as well on this matter, and even conversations and reacting and engaging with you guys on this same matter. I am just really confused on why Caleb Williams is just getting so much backlash. And I understand I have talked about this before, but there's been some different scenarios during training camp practices, just the media basically posting certain clips to, provide a negative light, not only on the Chicago Bears, but quarterback Caleb Williams. Of course, we talked about some of the interceptions that he has thrown during training camp, and people stressing over it and saying, or should the Bears and be worried about Caleb Williams, and do you think he's actually going to be the guy based off the interceptions we've been seeing in training camp? And obviously I already put that to bed. I'm saying that he has never thrown double-digit interceptions in a regular season dating back to his career at Oklahoma and college. But now there has been a couple of other clips that have surfaced over the last couple of weeks, and I know that you guys have seen it. There's this clip kind of going around, and obviously the media made it viral. It was the drill where he was trying to throw the football in the hole in the net. They call it the net drill, and it's about anticipation, it's about speed, and it's about accuracy. And Caleb Williams had 4 attempts, and he missed every single one. And then after the fact, he showed some frustration. You can tell that he was disgruntled about it. And the internet, the social media, the Caleb Williams haters absolutely ate that alive. You had guys like Mike Tannenbaum and Colin Cowherd, the guys that always have something to say, absolutely torching Caleb Williams for messing up on a little drill. But here is my thing, Bears fans, and this is why I want to say, pump the brakes, and I'm even learning how to do this as well. Pump the brakes on when you see videos like this, because the media, and I'm going to just call out Mike Tannenbaum and Colin Cowherd, they only focus on the negative things. Just as we seen on social media go viral of Caleb Williams doing terrible in that drill and then showing some frustration and throwing a tantrum, which what Caleb Williams call it after that drill. There's also another video that the media doesn't show you of Caleb Williams a couple of yards back, even further, absolutely dialed in and nailing every single throw. But they don't show you that. There's also a clip out there during training camp of Caleb Williams throwing an absolute dot to Rome Odunze, right? But they're not showing you that. That's not going viral. So to me, the media likes to push the negative things about Caleb Williams to provide that negative light on him and the Chicago Bears. And they like to panic over the little things. If he throws a bad pass in the Family Fest practice, or if he throws an interception during training camp, or if he has one bad play in the joint practice with the Miami Dolphins, they will be all over that. And I finally come to the conclusion is that the media likes to paint this picture of Caleb Williams that is negative. And I guess myself and for us as Bears fans, we have to be able to just ignore the noise because we understand what Caleb Williams is going through, and it's going to be a long process. We shouldn't stress out about those little things, even though it's hard when you hear Colin Cowherd or Mike Tannenbaum call out your quarterback. We have to be able to block out that noise. And when you're looking at a guy like Mike Tannenbaum, there's a reason why he is a former general manager or former executive of an NFL franchise. It's because no one wants him. To me, his opinion really doesn't matter. I want to give you guys on today's episode of Geek on the Mic the truth about Caleb Williams. And I want to block out the negativity that you've been hearing about the Chicago Bears or maybe some of the little things that they're trying to push about Caleb Williams, of how he is struggling at this or struggling at that, or is he going to be a bust or is he going to be this? I want to give you guys some positivity on Caleb Williams on today's episode of Geek on the Mic. At Jeremy Fowler, ESPN, went on the show Get Up just a couple of days ago, and this is what he had to say. He said, Rome Odunze told me that Caleb Williams can literally be the best quarterback in the National Football League. Obviously, that's what we're hoping. That's what Ryan Poles is hoping. That's what the Chicago Bears organization is hoping, that Rome Odunze and Caleb Williams can take that massive year 2 leap together. That's exactly why they drafted them together in the 2024 NFL draft. Obviously, their connection was special during their rookie year, and I am expecting a major jump between Rome Odunze and Caleb Williams on and off the field, especially now with Ben Johnson in the fold. So that is obviously a very positive update on our franchise quarterback and Caleb Williams. Then Jeff Hughes of DaBearsBlog actually reached out to someone close to the team to get an honest read on how the Bears and head coach Ben Johnson feel about their quarterback. And the response was very encouraging. This is what they had to say, Bears fans. I reached out to one person who told me it's going great. They are absolutely loving the process. They have a system in place and they're sticking to it. And Caleb is getting better and better. One thing to note is that the defense is playing really well, and that's a good thing. One of the things that Jeremy Fowler also said on Get Up is that they are really breaking down Caleb Williams to the studs. They are treating him like he is a rookie quarterback going into the first year. And the reason why they're doing that, Bears fans, is because it's a completely different system, a completely different offense, a completely different coaching staff. And they're basically saying, you know what? Shane Waldron and Matt Eberflus that season is an absolute wash. And to me, when I hear something like that, that is very encouraging as a Bears fan, because if we are saying that season was a wash with a lame duck head coach, a lame duck OC, a terrible offensive line that allowed him to get sacked 68 times, and he still threw for 3,500 yards, 20 passing touchdowns, and only 6 interceptions, to me, that's what gives me encouragement that Ben Johnson is breaking down to the core, down to his 3-step drop, his throwing motions, how he's processing the field, and he's building him back up. To me, once Caleb Williams understands what Ben Johnson has seen on the football field and allows him to grow and just flourish in this offense, Caleb Williams has the possibility to be one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League, just like Rome Odunze has seen. I'm pretty sure DJ Moore and Cole Kmet are seeing the same things. Everyone in the organization is encouraged by the growth of Caleb Williams. But once again, it's going to be a process because he is learning everything all over again, because Ben Johnson is doing things the right way, not only with Caleb Williams here in Chicago, but the entirety of the organization here in Chicago as well. So Bears fans, my message for all of this on today's episode of Geek on the Mic, and I'm going to try to, practice what I preach as well, is try to ignore the noise from Mike Tannenbaum. Try to ignore the noise from Colin Cowherd. Try to ignore the noise from Bears fans that are still disgruntled about Justin Fields getting traded. Ignore all the negativity, because all I care about is what Rome Odunze sees. All I care is about what Ryan Poles sees. All I care is about what Ben Johnson sees from Caleb Williams. If they see the growth and they say that he is making the strides that he needs to be to make that big year two jump here in Chicago, that's the only thing that matters to me. So Bears fans, I just wanted to come on here really quick and just share my opinions of what I've been hearing and seeing in regard to the negativity going towards Caleb Williams. But I want to let you guys know that it's going to be okay. We have a very, very, very special talent here in Chicago, and his name is Caleb Williams. But other than that, Bears fans, make sure you guys continue to hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Geek on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, be back for an all-new Bears podcast right here on Geek on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and as always, bear down.
You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You can go and subscribe, cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic.